What if I told you that 30,000 years ago, a guy with no phone, no job, no Instagram, and definitely no jawline filter, had a more effective dating strategy than most people do today? Yeah, let that sit. Here's what we're going to cover in the next 10 minutes. We're going to talk about why your ancient ancestors' first date might have involved a freshly killed deer. We're going to talk about how Neanderthals, yes, those Neanderthals, may have slid into Homo sapiens DMs, so to speak. And we're going to end on a question that is genuinely going to bother you for the rest of the week. So the real question isn't just how did ancient humans date, it's whether they were actually better at it than we are. Stay with me. Let's set the scene. We're talking roughly 30,000 to 100,000 years ago. You wake up before sunrise because there is no sunrise alarm. There's just sunrise. The world smells like smoke, wet grass, and whatever animal your group hunted last night. Your social world consists of maybe 20 to 50 people. That's it. That is your entire universe of human contact. No city, no bar, no coworker you've been making eyes at for 3 months. Just your band, the fire, the stars, and the very immediate problem of staying alive. Oh, and somewhere in that mess, you've got to find someone to build a life with. Now here's where it gets genuinely funny. Imagine Tinder, but your entire dating pool is 50 people, roughly half of whom are related to you, and the rest are either already paired up or actively your rival for food. That's the ancient human dating scene. Scientists call these groups bands, and paleoanthropologists estimate that most Paleolithic humans lived in groups of 20 to 50 individuals, occasionally meeting other bands at seasonal gatherings. So your options were limited, like same 6 people every single day limited. Like the world's worst algorithm limited. This, by the way, is why those seasonal gatherings were enormous deals. We'll get back to that. But first, how did you even signal that you were interested? Here's where it gets fascinating. Archaeologists have found personal ornaments, shell beads, pierced animal teeth, ochre-stained objects, going back over 100,000 years in parts of Africa and the Middle East. And here's the thing, these weren't just pretty. From an evolutionary psychology standpoint, ornaments are honest signals. They say, I had enough time and resources to make this. I have fine motor skills. I'm creative. I'm not just surviving. I'm thriving. In other words, ancient bling was ancient flexing, and it wasn't just accessories. Body paint made from red ochre has been found at sites dating back 160,000 years. Cave paintings, some of the most breathtaking art humanity has ever produced, may have partly functioned as display behavior, a way of saying, look what I can do. Some researchers even think certain hand stencils and abstract symbols in caves were left as identity markers. Your ancient ancestor wasn't just making art, he might have been making a profile. And then there's gift giving. Multiple archaeological sites show evidence of gifted objects. Unusual stones carried from faraway locations, carefully crafted tools left in graves alongside partners. The broader pattern is real. Bringing someone a gift, a good piece of meat, a rare shell, a tool you made by hand, was a universal early human behavior. Which honestly, more romantic than whatever hey text you sent last Tuesday. Now, the parties. Because ancient humans absolutely threw parties, just with higher stakes and better vibes. We have evidence of bone flutes. The oldest known musical instruments date back roughly 40,000 years, found in southern Germany. We have evidence of communal feasting, rhythmic percussion, long-distance travel to gathering sites. Anthropologists widely believe that large seasonal gatherings, where multiple bands came together, were critical social events. And social event in this context almost certainly means mate selection. Think about it. You've spent months in your small band of 30 people. Then suddenly, there are 200 humans in one place. Firelight, music, dancing, food. Someone from another group catches your eye across the flames. That's not so different from a club night. It's just that the stakes were existential and nobody was faking it. Because that's the thing about these events. The dancing wasn't performed. The drumming wasn't curated. The people who showed up with status, who were strong, generous, skilled, funny, respected, that wasn't a personal brand. That was just who they were. Ancient social gatherings were ruthlessly transparent. But it wasn't all romantic fires and shell bead gifts. The tribe had opinions. In many early human societies, and we can infer this from both archaeological evidence and from studying contemporary hunter-gatherer groups, partner selection wasn't purely individual. Elders had influence. Alliances between bands mattered. Sometimes pairing off with someone from another group was strategic. It created kinship ties that meant both groups were less likely to kill each other. Romance and diplomacy deeply blurred. So ancient humans had individual desire and social pressure, navigating both simultaneously. Which, honestly, isn't that different from bringing someone home for the holidays and watching your family make the face. Some things are eternal. And now, the moment you're going to screenshot and send to someone. We used to think Neanderthals and Homo sapiens were separate stories. Neanderthals died out, we moved in, end of chapter. Except modern genomic research has absolutely torched that story. Humans outside of sub-Saharan Africa carry roughly 1 to 4% Neanderthal DNA. Not as a contamination, not as an accident, as evidence of sustained interbreeding between two different species of human, over thousands of years, across multiple continents. Let that land. Your great-great-great-great, keep going, grandmother may have fallen for a Neanderthal, or been brought into his community, or met him at one of those seasonal gatherings. We don't know if it was love, we don't know if it was strategic, we don't know the full story, but we know it happened. We know it happened enough to leave a genetic fingerprint that you are still carrying right now, today, in your cells. That's not a footnote in history, that's the most cross-cultural romance ever recorded. So here's the question I promised you, the one that's going to stick. Was ancient human dating actually more honest, and maybe more effective, than what we do today? Think about the signals. A man who could hunt, build, create art, earn respect from his community. Those traits were hard to fake. You couldn't Photoshop your spear throw. You couldn't use a filter on your fire-starting ability. The gift of meat was either a good hunt or it wasn't. The ornament either showed skill or it didn't. The signals were costly, and costly signals are honest signals. That's not romance. That's evolutionary game theory working exactly as designed. Now look at modern dating. We have infinite options, infinite platforms, AI-generated bios, 6-angle selfie lighting, and algorithms designed not to find you love, but to keep you scrolling. We've built a system that is extraordinarily good at performing attraction and extraordinarily bad at verifying it. And the result? Loneliness rates in the developed world are at historic highs. We have more tools to connect than any humans in history, and we've never felt more alone. I'm not saying move into a cave. I'm saying maybe the ancient instincts, show genuine skill, give real gifts, show up to the gathering, let the community vouch for you. Maybe those weren't primitive. Maybe they were just accurate. And somewhere between the algorithm and the filter, we lost the signal. All right, here's what you actually learned today. 1. Your ancient ancestors were using beads, body paint, and cave art as dating profiles, 100,000 years before MySpace. 2. Neanderthals and Homo sapiens didn't just coexist. They got together, and you might literally have the DNA to prove it. 3. Ancient dating signals were hard to fake, and that might be exactly why they worked. And here's your final thought. Free of charge, the oldest love story we can trace isn't written down anywhere. It's written in your genome. That's kind of beautiful, and kind of terrifying, but mostly beautiful. If this video made you think or made you want to text your situationship something confusing, hit subscribe, drop a comment below, and send this to someone you're, shall we say, ancient dating. I'll see you in the next one.